thank everybody for joining us. The idea came about of thinking that we maybe need a mid-year State of the Union report, if you will. I only require half the number of standing ovations that our presidents do during the typical one. No, I'm kidding. I'm sitting down myself. But good evening, fellow Rotarians. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. It's an honor to be here with you to reflect on the magic of Rotary, the magic that we create when we come together to serve and to inspire and to build a better future. This magic isn't a sleight of hand or an illustration, an illusion. It's real, tangible, and powerful. It's found in the connections we make and the lives we touch and the hope we bring to our community. So tonight we're going to talk about that magic. I've invited several of our leaders of our district to come on and just give an update on the state of our Rotary district, the one that I think each one of us love so much and are proud to be a part of. And I'll fill in some remarks where some of our leaders I want to add to, I should say. And then we're going to open it up. It's a town hall. So I want an opportunity for where the work of Rotary is done at the club level, to let us know, as the leaders of the district who happen to be the stewards this year, what we can do to help continue to support you and your efforts to do the magic in your communities, and to answer questions that you might have and take up your challenges. So with that, thank you again. And I'm going to immediately turn it over to our District Governor-elect, Andy Van Hook, to see if Andy has any comments that he'd like to make to this group of Rotarians.
Thanks, Brett. Really appreciate that. Great to see everybody here this evening. Thanks for making time. A couple of things. If you are interested or know of folks who are interested in going to the Rotary International Convention in Calgary, those reservations or opportunity to register is still available. And so would love to have you join myself and the 33 other Rotarians from our district who will be attending that international convention. If you haven't been to one before, this is a great one to go to because it's relatively close comparatively. And it's a pretty amazing event to see a lot of different things that Rotary does around the world. Also, if I have been hosting some president-elect seminars, webinars once a month over the past couple of months, and the next one is Wednesday evening at 5 p.m. So if you've got a newly elected president-elect within the past couple of weeks that may not be in DAC-DB, or if your president-elect as may or may not have attended, would love to have them start to attend those sessions, and want to continue to host those minimally up through our president-elect session in March and possibly after that. It's a good opportunity for them to get to know one another, and also hopefully we can check some boxes before we hit the president-elect learning session in March. Other than that, great to see everybody. Thanks for all that you do in our district. And other than that, I'll turn it back over to District Governor Brett. Thanks, Brett.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it. This is not quite literally in our backyard, but it's pretty darn close considering where we're going to be going when Charlotte is leading our district. We'll be around halfway around the world again, or the other side of the world, in Taipei. So Charlotte, do you have some remarks that you'd like to share with the folks?
I just really want to say hello. Many of you may know me or may not. So I'm the district governor nominee. I'm working closely with Andy and with Brett. We're planning out our district leadership for years to come with good succession planning. And I just want to throw it out there. If you have considered serving at the district level, there are opportunities there to join some committees and make your presence known, make your mark. We would love to hear of your interest and see if we can't match you to something good in terms of a service opportunity at the district level. As Brett said, I'll be taking the party train to Taipei in 27 or 26, 27. So if you put that on your radar, it will be in the spring. And I'm just really excited to get started with the president's nominee. If you have a president nominee already named, or you're in the process of doing that now, please register them in DACTB as quickly as you can. I'm going to start some of those Zoom calls with that class of 26, 27 and after the first of the year. So looking forward to doing that. And I want to take this opportunity to introduce Kerry Sims, who's on the call. He is going to be taking over as the district chairman for Rotary Youth Exchange, where I've been the chair for 6 years. And I love this program. I want to leave it in good hands. And he is getting up and running and very excited to serve at that in that role. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Charlotte. And I want to just quickly introduce the nominating committee. Announced last week that Amber Wilborn is our district governor nominee designate. I hope she has the headphones as her official district governor picture with the hearts. Is that hearts? Something on her head.
They're butterflies.
Oh, butterflies.
They're
And you can
butterflies.
tell, especially after me, Andy, and Charlotte, Amber will be the fun one. Um, I'm kidding. No, she will be fun. But thank you. Good luck. The official announcement will come out probably sometime early, right before Christmas, on the announcement of Amber being officially the district governor nominee designate. So congratulations. So we all know that membership is the lifeblood of our organization. And if we're not growing, we are going the wrong way. We are dying. And with that, I asked Rick Novak, our district membership chairman, to speak to us a little bit about what we've been doing on membership, where we're going on membership, and how everybody can participate and help us succeed. So, Rick, you'd like to take over?
Sure. Thanks for having me. Good to see you all on this call. I have several topics I want to go over, and I'll start with the district membership. Good news is we've recruited 136 new members, and our membership track is headed in the right direction. We're going upward. The bad news is we lost 123 members during that time, which that's not unusual, right? We've talked about that in MAP, and you got to plan for losing members. So another sort of report card is we have 22 clubs in our district that haven't recruited even one member this year. So we got to try and get them on the ball. We had 21 clubs that recruited, at least one member. And then everybody else must be doing a lot better than that. So great to everybody who is doing that. But anyway, so we're net 13 up from where we were last year at this time. And so we'll call that a moral victory. But I want to remind everybody that the Membership Action Plan webinars, they're going on monthly. They happen on the second Monday of each month at 5:30, and they last approximately 45 minutes. If you can't make them, that's great. No problem. They're recorded. And so you just go to the Zone website, and you'll find them there. The next one is January 13th. Let's see. To date, we've had 21 RI referrals, and that's about normal. I think we had 45 or 50 last year, so we're kind of right on track for those. We had 3 in the last 2 weeks, and I send those on to the AGs and the membership advocates in the areas where those people either work or reside, and then we try and get them into clubs. So hopefully that is working. Sometimes I got a reply to one of my referrals that I just sent this weekend was he had already attended a club meeting. So that's great. That's awesome. That's really important. When we get these referrals, we need to act on them pretty quickly. Otherwise, people think, what's up? What's wrong with me? Just like any customer would, you call and you expect, the organization to kind of jump on your, request. And so we need to do that. But I will say that the RI referral process is being retooled, and they're going to launch a new version of that in, I believe, in the first quarter of 25. And the clubs the way I read it is the clubs are actually going to get direct referrals from RI, and then if the clubs don't respond to those folks, then I guess it's going to bounce back to me. We'll find out. There's a webinar on it January 9th at noon. And if you're interested, I can send you that link for, any club presidents or membership advocates or AGs, anyone who wants to attend that webinar, the more the merrier. But in the meantime, they're suggesting that, and we should already be doing this, but all club officers should have My Rotary accounts. And for a lot of people on this call, it's probably like, well, of course I have a My Rotary account. But having had some conversations out there, there are a lot of clubs that maybe aren't as, connected to, the internet sites. But My Rotary account, you need to have a My Rotary account. So make sure all your club officers are registered for My Rotary, so that when you get these leads, you won't have to, do that step in the meantime. Also, we want our clubs to make sure that they have their information correct on their social presence, meeting location, time. And finally, we want to encourage clubs to be welcoming when a prospect walks in their door, and welcome them with open arms and get to know them, make them feel welcome. Also, one more thing, I mentioned that we have 10 Discover Rotary grants that Brett budgeted for, 10 $100 Rotary grants. We've awarded 2. I think there are 2 in the pipeline, 2 more. So we have 6 that, could be awarded this year. If you hold a Discover Rotary or anything like that, reach out to me and I'll send you the form. We ask that you document it and get Cora some just a brief news release and some pictures, for content for the newsletter. And I think that's all I've got.
Thanks, Rick. So it's not about I have to go out and find new members. It's I get to go out and find new members so we can do these projects that are making real impacts in our lives. So if you saw me in the past, you've seen me in a Rotary football jersey. It's basketball season. You do not want to see me in a basketball jersey. That's not pretty, but you will. People are out there. There are Rotarians in our communities. They're just not wearing our jersey yet. They're not wearing the Rotary jersey. We need to go find them, put that jersey on them, and get them to get to work so we can help end polio, to fight hunger, all of the great things in the areas that we are working on. So I take it on as a personal mission to go out and find people and talk about it all the time. I think everyone in this probably on this call is called Mr. or Mrs. Rotary for a reason, and we talk about it all the time. So thank you, Rick, for that. We are going to have a mini membership summit on Friday morning of district conference. Learn a little more about the blocking and tackling of recruitment and bringing and growing our organization. So if that's something that you're interested in, please sign up for that breakout when you come. I also invited Mark Hudson to speak a couple moments. We are now moving into that season where our club should be thinking about our district grant program, or applying for district grants and collaborative grants. So Mark, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on, what our club should be thinking about, and as individual members, what they might be thinking about in terms of district grants.
Thanks, Brad. Looking at the people that are here, this is the choir. Thank you all for everything you do. There's a lot of people that do a whole lot within this district that are listening to my voice. Michael, do you still have your Christmas stuff on? I don't think so.
Nah, man, I'm like 5 bourbons in, bro. I had to get something off.
So just as a reminder, everybody, this is being recorded and we will have this up on our YouTube page. So Mark, other
So-
people can watch it at some point in the future as well.
And as Brett said, this is the most wonderful time of the year. The time when you start thinking about your district grant projects. That's what you meant, isn't it? So now's the time to start pulling things together, and I just wanted to give you just a quick overview of the sort of things that make good grant projects. Essentially, these are the sorts of projects that we all joined Rotary to do. Aren't we here to help people out? Isn't that the essence of what a district grant is? I really think so. So that's where you start. How can I help people? How can I help my community? Whether your community is local or the world community. There's some grants that served overseas. So don't be confined. Think big. So you also we're all working with different organizations. We all participate with other organizations. There's nothing that stops you from supporting the organization that you spend your other time with. It's the one you know the best, and you know what their needs are, and you know the good that they do in the community. So combine your interests, that other organization's interests with Rotary's, and go forward and help people. What makes a great grant project, though, is one that not only helps people, but also serves those that are underserved or those that are disadvantaged. So if you can stretch or make the emphasis of your project those folks, that's probably the most meaningful thing that you can do. District grants are not just giving funds to other organizations. District grants are projects in which we are also involved in the work. So find ways to involve Rotarians. It's a terrific club building project when you're all focused on the same thing. And it also can help pull the community together. So grants that involve other organizations that have multiple organizations that are working on the same project. That's another criteria for a great project. Brett asked me to highlight just a few grants that we had in the past year that I thought were pretty good. The first one that came to mind was the Rotary Traffic Playground. It's from the Waynesboro Club. Oh my goodness. The champion of that was Laura Hamp. She's amazing. Focused on getting this done. What this project does is it teaches kids essentially in a playground the rules of the road when they ride their bicycles. I bicycle a lot, so I'm a great advocate for kids and for biking. It teaches them how to do that. She submitted just an outstanding grant, well organized, well prepared. It also is a coalition of 6 clubs that are involved. So she herded all those cats together, and it's going to be a great project. This year, we also had two different Isaiah House projects. I'm sure you remember that from was it last year's district conference, I think. So this helps children that are placed into foster care, a very traumatizing situation. And what Isaiah House does is it eases that transition. It moves them with love, with care, into from a bad situation into the best situation you can imagine. Forrest Michael Goetz, is it Getz? Goetz? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Michael wrote that one for Forrest, and then Heather Bunch, who writes continuously outstanding projects for Marion Morning. Heather's project involved 4 clubs. Forrest was 1 club, and you can write any size grant you want. Doesn't mean that one is more valuable than the other. If that's what your club can pull together, that's what you do. And then this one's an aspirational grant. Danville After Hours. They're building a community orchard and berry farm. They'll have 2 different locations. They'll buy the trees, they'll plant the trees, they'll tend them, they'll get the food and distribute it within the community. This is an ongoing project. It'll last for years. It will, sorry, bear fruit for years. So it's a wonderful project. I think the whole thing's about $118,000. They have grants for maybe 12,000, but they're pulling other organizations together. It's so impressive. Last thing I have, please, when you donate your money, it's end of year, when you donate to the foundation, it's the annual fund share. Those funds come back to the district. So please contribute to that. Also support the other projects, Polio Plus, also the Wheelchair Foundation. Great projects. Give generously. That's all I have about district grants. Thanks.
Thanks, Mark. So just as an update, last year or this year, we granted out $132,334 to our clubs in projects. And I'm pleased to say that all of the checks have been cashed. So we do know that those projects are in the works. In our DDF, our district designated funds, we also made a $5,000 commitment to the wheelchair project that PDG Woody Sadler is a champion of. And we also made $4,000 available for Peace Pole grants of $175, and 15 of our clubs have taken advantage of that opportunity to plant peace poles. I didn't ask Mike to speak on global grants, but I do want to make it kind of goes all in the same bucket there of DDF funds. We are, as a district, making a $16,000 global grant to global grant in collaboration with the World Vision Fund, with the support from the Rotary Action Group for Community Economic Development. The grants will enhance village savings groups in Uganda. Village savings groups enable poor communities to overcome poverty through participation in their own economies. The impact of village savings groups include increased and diversified income, reduced food insecurity and financial stability. They are particularly impactful in rural areas where many of the people live below the World Bank poverty rate of $2.15 per day, and microfinance is not an option. So our $16,000 contribution from our funds with the World Match is $30,000. We're going to partner with multiple districts. I believe the whole project's about $170,000, and we will have a representative from World Vision, World Fund on this project at district conference to talk about our piece of how we're helping impact the people of Uganda in economic and community development. So I'm very excited about that. And Mark did touch on polio, so I will mention on polio. We have, as a district, we designated $51,600 from our designated funds. We've contributed $79,000 so far to Polio Plus, and the Tulip campaign that we had earlier in the summer that Jeremy Spillman had spearheaded for us raised about $4,100 for polio. And my hope is that when those tulips start to bloom in the spring, you'll take some pictures, you'll send them to me or Cora so we can get them up on our website, and we'll talk about polio again and how we're very close to eradicating it. We're at 84 cases so far this year, which is a spike, but it is all located in Pakistan and Afghanistan. The good news is Afghanistan, after the Taliban took back over control of the country, stopped the vaccination process, at least the door to door. They are now at least allowing us, Rotary and other in the partnership, to set up tents in the town square, if you will, so families can bring their children down to get vaccinated. So it's going to take a whole lot of people to close this last gap of Afghanistan and Pakistan. And frankly, none of the people that are on the screen or on my screens that look like you are going to be able to do the job. It's going to be people that are going to be much more diverse, that can walk into those houses and talk to those people and speak those languages and break down those barriers. So sounds like we need a more diverse Rotary even more. Anybody have any questions for Mark? Okay. If not, I did also invite Michael Williams, our youth coordinator, services coordinator, to give us an update about what's going on in the world of RILA, Youth Exchange, and Interact and Early Act.
Thank you, Brett. So as of right now, we have 30 known Interact clubs within our district. We had one new one that we're aware of, and that's in Area 1 at Jameswood High School. Coincidentally or whatever, my father's alma mater. My dad graduated from Jameswood in 1961. We have 8 early act clubs that I'm aware of. And I think the biggest challenge that we come up with, as most people know, is finding a person at the school that is willing to give up 45 minutes of their month to helping to make this happen. Very proud to state that Warren County, and this is kind of a shameless plug, but my home county and your home county, every single one of our 5, all of our 5 elementary schools, all have early act clubs. There are 4 of them are active. The 5th one is going to be active within the next month. Very excited about that. So if there's anything I can do for anyone out there, whether it's a youth advocate that's on this call or any president or anyone else to help get an early act club started or an Interact club started, please reach out to me. Kayla Payne has been doing an incredible job with the Interact part. One of the wonderful fallouts from RILA was a lot of students talking about something that you yourself, Brett, had brought up, which is the community-based Interact club. And 2 of our students from, actually, sorry, 4, 2 from Skyline High, 2 from Warren County High, from our county are looking at starting a youth-based or community-based Interact club. We happen to have a youth center here in our town that's kind of rejuvenated, and they're looking at starting one there, inviting students from not just public school but private school and homeschool. And if there's anyone out there that is interested in listening to that, please let me know. There's a lot of energy out there from RILA. I don't think Inez is on this call right now, but I'm going to tell you something. If you happen to know Inez Rodenberg, please reach out to her and congratulate her for an incredible RILA. It was the first one I've known in 14 years that I've been doing it, that sold out. And it was an incredible RILA. A lot of energy come back. A lot of kids really excited about starting early act and Interact clubs in their area, mainly Interact. And so pretty excited about it. I'm going to ask Charlotte to talk about Rotary Youth Exchange because she and Carrie have more information on that than I do. I have the information they shared with me, but I'm not about to try and hijack the incredible work that they've done. So Charlotte and Carrie, if it's okay with Brett, if they would take it from here with respect to that, I'd appreciate it.
Thanks, Michael. Quickly, we had a great presentation at RILA, and there was a lot of interest in going outbound for the long-term program that we have. So we have 2 girls who are in the process right now of wrapping up their applications and interviews, and hopefully we will get them submitted this week to Essex so that they will get their first country matches. Essex will match kids to countries. That stands for Eastern State Student Exchange. I'm sorry about the acronyms. So the kids will, if it goes longer than Wednesday, there will still be plenty of good placements, but they just start with the first placements this Wednesday. And we can take applications from kids who want to go to study in a foreign country for 10 months and be placed in a host district, a host club, and a host family and go to school there. And we're doing that now for kids 15 and a half to 18 and a half. So we will make those placements through March, really, and then orient those kids to go outbound. Some of you may know we have 3 boys that are abroad right now in Japan, Poland, and Peru. And we also have 3 inbound students right now from Chile, Venezuela, and Sweden. So everybody's doing very well, and we'll be excited to have a new crew. Carrie and I will be working together to orient the outbounds and then start talking around district conference time about placements of kids inbound that might be coming to our district next year. So if your club is considering hosting, we think it's a fantastic opportunity. Start looking at your budgeting now. We should, each club needs to commit to about $1,300 so that the student can have an allowance per month of about $100 plus have their RILA participation fee, a registration fee covered. And we can continue the conversation as it goes forward. So let us know if you have any questions about that, and we'll keep the program rolling. Carrie, did you have anything to add?
I'm sorry, go ahead. Carrie, please.
Sure, I just want to chime in with what Michael said. The RILA was just really done excellent, and Inez deserves all the credit. I did send an email out to all the counselors and ask them to be aware that we are looking for clubs to host an inbound student starting next school year. So we're trying to keep the communication open to those folks.
And it's important to note, and Charlotte and Carrie, please correct me if I'm wrong, for every student that we send out, it's expected that we would host that number of students as well. And
yes, that's true.
So I would just ask, there's 44 people on this call right now. And as far as a call to action, I would encourage those on this call to please go back to their clubs and let them know about this incredible opportunity to host a student. And while I could certainly talk to the importance of that and how many, whatever, Charlotte can do a better job of it than I can.
That number is true, that we are required to match the number that we send out. We need to also place that number of people in the district, of students in the district. But traditionally, we have placed more. There are a lot of students around the world who want to come to the United States, and not as many outbound students that are applying from here post-COVID. We're still ramping up our numbers there and reestablishing our partnerships with countries. So we have particular placements around the world, but we're in a position, I believe, to offer more placements than some places can. So I would love to see a robust program of about 5 to 6 placements inbound if we could do it.
Now, I would just end this by saying that with the excitement that Inez, Charlotte, and Carrie brought to RILA with respect to the Rotary Youth Exchange, I believe it's like 6 or 7 kids that we have that are interested in going out. Selfishly, I'm excited because I have one to two that are excited from my club area. Well, sorry, President Ellen's club, and which is my club, and that's a sense of pride as well. And those two actually are trying to start a community-based Interact club here in Warren County with public, private, and homeschool kids. And so it's really exciting to see the energy that the students bring back from RILA. And RILA is not Interact, but when RILA can enhance Interact back home, it certainly enhances the opportunity for peace and for understanding and the long term goal for membership for Rotary. So I'm so thankful for Charlotte and for Carrie and Inez and Kayla. Sorry,
nothing. It was Kayla.
That Kayla and Mark Fennick and for Rotary Youth Exchange. So anyway, thank you all for all your support this year. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer. Did I keep it under 5 minutes, Brett?
Yep. The Rotary Youth Exchange is an incredible peace program. And I would encourage anybody in all clubs to participate. I've hosted 3 times for exchange students, and it's been a phenomenal experience for our family. RILA, we did have, Interact, we've started 4 new clubs so far. Winchester, Danville, Elizabethton, and Stanton have new Interact clubs. We had about 120 students at RILA, as was spoken about. And we also had a great speaker, a fan favorite, if you will, Amelia Stancil, our Wonder Woman, who represents the Rotary Action Group Against Slavery. at Ryla. Charlotte, Andy, and I signed a resolution stating that our district will be stand with them in the fight against to end human trafficking and slavery. After that, if you don't think that Ryla or Rotary matters, uh, it, Amelia had at least 7 kids come and ask her to speak at their high schools on human trafficking. This can also go back to last year, I believe, maybe 2 years ago. When she spoke, a student from Tazewell High School asked her to speak, and I may get the facts wrong, but I'm not going to let it screw up a good story. So they went to she went and spoke at the school with an FBI agent. A young man raised his hand and said, "What if the trafficker is a police officer?" And about 2 or 3 weeks later, a cop in Bluefield was arrested for human trafficking. I don't know whether that's a direct connection. I would imagine that some of that was in the works already, but the power that we had, that butterfly effect, if you will, that we didn't intend that. But Amelia came and spoke. She got invited, and maybe even we locked up a bad man because of it. So, um, and again, if it's not true, I'm sticking to my story. I asked Tim Carter, our foundation chairman, district foundation chairman, to speak. The Rotary Foundation is going through a major capital campaign, and I wanted Tim to maybe give us an update about it and let us know if you are not familiar with it. So, Tim, are you around?
Sure, I'm here.
You are?
You hear me?
Okay. Yep.
Just a couple things. A few years ago, the Board of Trustees came up with an initiative called the 2.025 initiative, which is to bring $2 billion.025 to the Rotary Endowment. Now, this is not it's not an ordinary gift. And let me explain a little bit about what I'm talking about. It is a gift that you can give. You can either give the gift outright, your portion of the gift, by becoming an endowment donor or bequest member. And basically your legacy is Rotary's promise, which means the money goes to basic education, community economic development, disease prevention and treatment, environment, maternal and child health, peace and conflict resolution, peace centers, water sanitation, and the World Fund. So basically, what Rotary's trying to do is they're trying to build their endowment so that they can give $100 million per year to all of these various projects. And what they're asking is they're asking people to give now if they can, and if they can't give now, to give now to part of their own legacy as far as their endowment to allow Rotary to carry on their wishes in the future. So basically, that's where we're at. I think last I checked, they're on track actually this year. They're at about 1.7, $1.8 billion. And this is your foundation. And it's something that I hope you'll consider if you have the ability to give, or if you'll talk with your clubs about this process. We could have people from TRF, the Rotary Foundation, to come to your club and talk to those particular individuals as far as their legacy and Rotary's promise. So that's it in a nutshell, Governor Brett.
Thank you, Tim. So and I don't know it was a great idea for whoever asked you to be the lead fundraiser because you wear a gun. So he's got his badge on, I see.
That's right. Well, I mean, I know we did our part last year with the legacy campaign, and this is continuing on this year. And I know, again, I know people. A guy was told me in a meeting with regard to the foundation is look at it as like an a la carte. There's so many things that you can do, whether it's for youth programming, for polio, for endowment giving. All those opportunities are out there, District Governor, and we just are asking people to consider that at this time of year.
Sorry, our foundation is nowhere near the largest foundation at all, but we probably are one of the most effective foundations and most efficient foundations that there is. We're the greatest humanitarian organization in the world, and our foundation is certainly representative of that. So I would encourage you to encourage your clubs to be Paul Harris members, Paul Harris Society members, become a Paul Harris club. We're 100% participation at the Paul Harris members. Let's do that. Right now, we year-to-date giving to the foundation is $156,321. And of course, end of the year giving is always good. And because Rotary doesn't use the calendar year, our numbers are skewed anyway. So we'll have different numbers that come in at the closer to the end of the end of the year. So
And the other
anybody-
thing, Governor, the
Yes.
other thing, Governor, is that just so people understand, Rotary has a method whereby your principal is they never cut into your principal that you give. They're only looking at what is made off the principal. So you know that your gift is something that continues on.
That's right. That's right. All right. I do also want to talk about the one of the things that we've most impactful in our district of the past earlier part of the Rotary year, and that was Hurricane Helene. We, as a district, raised about $13,000. I appreciate the Rotary Club of Warren County for stepping in and providing the C3 status for us to be able to contribute. Those dollars will be dedicated only for the use within our district. Preferential treatment for disaster relief, preferential treatment to Hurricane Helene. We have not used any of those monies. We haven't got any grant requests for them, with the exception of using it to pay to help with the USAID relief and to have a pod placed in Milton and Cook County, Unicoi County, Greene County.
Carter County.
Carter County. That sounds coincidental. In Carter County, Tennessee, because unfortunately the equipment was growing legs and walking off at night, so we were providing them a pod to store their equipment so they don't have to take it back and forth every month. Jamie Baisden, who I think is on, led a group of Rotarians and non-Rotarians down into Northeast Tennessee to do some cleanup. Jamie, are you on? I thought I saw you.
Yeah, I'm here, Brett.
You
In
want to
fact,
share anything on that trip
ooh, well,
in 2 minutes?
sure. We had 50 volunteers, roughly half of whom were Rotarians who were either from our district or connected to our district in some way. We had people from California, Michigan, New York, Alabama, Tennessee, West Virginia, Maryland, Virginia, about 2,000 volunteer hours in 2 weeks. It was really meaningful. And what we did was we really provided hope and shared compassion with those people who had lost a great deal. It was really something. In fact, at 8 o'clock, I have a Zoom for a grant, and I mentioned this to Brett briefly, but through my contacts at Disaster Aid, District 7620 is putting together a district grant, not a district grant, but a matching grant within their district. And they've come up with about $23,500 to buy building materials to rebuild in Greene County and Washington County. And in 15 minutes, I'll be on that call. And I mentioned this to Brett the other day, but they're $2,000 shy. So I think if the district is willing to put up $23,500 to help our district in disaster relief, I'm going to try and tap into that Helene Relief Fund, Brett, for the $2,000 they're shy. I'll just need to know how I do that, because I know that's going to come out of our new foundation, which is going to be Kathy Cantor coming online in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the work that you did on that and are continuing to do on that. There is funds at the zone level for any clubs that want to do projects in the affected areas. They are technically district grants. So the club will do the work. The Rotarians have to be involved. You can't just hand the money over to another organization. There has to be a partnership of some sort. And I have applications. I have to sign off on it because the district is responsible for making sure that the money is used correctly. So if any clubs are out interested in doing that, partnering with affected clubs or organizations, please let me know, and I will get you that information. District conference is coming up April 4th through the 6th at the end of Virginia Tech. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I have a bias on that, but I'm pretty excited about being down in Blacksburg for the conference again. A couple of the highlights on Friday night, we're going to have dueling pianos as an entertainment that is sponsored by the Rotary Club of Front Royal. So thank you to my club. And then on Saturday night, our take on the magic of Rotary is the Mystery Magic Tour of the Beatles. So we have a cover band called British Mania. They have three costume changes. It's going to be a pretty big production, and it will be a Pittsburgh theme in honor of our president, where we'll have the traditional cookie table at Pittsburgh weddings. A couple highlight of our speakers: Richard Reeves, the American Institute of Boys and Men; Tim Carney, who's an author and columnist in Washington, D.C., and Sam Harris, who is a Holocaust survivor and Rotarian, will be there Saturday morning. Sam was on the cover of the January or February Rotarian magazine, if you recall that cover. And they will be there when the youth are there. The youth are invited to come on Saturday. And those are just some highlights of our meeting. The other speakers are all listed on the district website. We'll also be recognizing our clubs, our successful clubs. And I asked Josie to come on and just give us a brief update on district awards.
Hey, everybody. So the district awards applications, they're open on our website. And you have until February 1st to submit the applications. I've only gotten one so far, so I figure we'll get a flood of them as we keep going. But I have a committee of about 10 people, and so we'll have some new eyes reviewing those applications this year. I've sent out emails to club presidents and some other people in clubs. Since I don't know who always submits the application, I just kind of send it to a general person and ask them to forward it to the person that's going to be submitting their application. There's a few things we're just asking people to pay close attention to. Definitely the club category, because sometimes there's a few that get confused. Community service, club partnership service, and club service. They all kind of sound the same, but they do have different things that we're looking for in the applications. So we're just asking people to pay attention to that, to only submit one application in each of the 10 categories, and to really try to describe what they're doing within they only have about 500 words to do it, but to kind of give us as much information as possible, because that's what we use to assign points. And so we do use a score sheet. It's the same score sheet that's been used for I don't know how long. It was developed before my time. So the first part of it, we asked people to give a description, and that's worth 20 points. And then we asked people to tell us what percentage of their club members were participating. Was it just a small percentage of the club doing one big project, or how, that's worth 10 points. And then the resulting benefit is worth another 10 points. So that could be through whatever initiative we were able to provide a scholarship or 5 scholarships, or we got new members because of this marketing campaign, or just different things that were a direct benefit or even an indirect benefit. I know sometimes it's hard to sum up what might have been a direct benefit, but just an idea, because that's worth 10 points on the application too. So, or on the evaluation. So I can answer questions about that. I've put my email address and my phone number out there. It's better to email me or text me during the day because I'm at school, and I'm running intervention groups, so I can't always answer phone calls, but sometimes I have a few minutes to answer a text or shoot an email out. So that's probably the best way to get in touch with me between now and when the applications are due on February 1st.
Thank you, Josie.
There
Let's
are
let,
descriptions on the, I've sent that. Oh, yeah. What? Do what? It broke up there.
I wasn't sure if it's my internet connection or yours. You had frozen up. It might have been on me.
It could be mine. I don't know. What did everybody hear? What's the last thing you heard? I don't know.
I
It may,
heard oh geez.
it's
I
probably
heard you
me.
talking about when it's best to call and text and all that.
Yes,
Oh,
thank you.
okay. Okay, well, that was really the last thing I said. So,
right.
it might be my internet. I don't know. But if
No,
anybody has questions, they can call me or text me or email me.
great. Thank you, Josie, because I mean, let's have a whole lot. Let's get this committee so that they're so overwhelmed they need to add 10 more people because they have so many
Hey,
applications coming in.
I like it.
We don't do a very good job of patting ourselves on the back, and we should do better
Mhm.
on that.
Yep.
And I don't think Kathy is back, Canner. So I will just, what Jamie was alluding to is the foundation the district did set up its own 501c3 foundation. It is not in conflict of your club foundations or the Rotary Foundation. It will be one that is for more local, very targeted projects. So when you hear, don't, this is not to take away from your donations to the foundation, Rotary Foundation, or to support your club. But if you don't have a club foundation and you want to do a specific project and you need the opportunity to have a tax deduction, contact Kathy Canner. We'll figure out how we can help you out. All right, we do have about, I don't want to, well, we can stay as long as you want. I don't want to keep you past 8 o'clock on purpose. So did anybody have anything? I said this was a town hall, so please shout it out. Peter.
Yeah, so I don't have a question, more of a comment. I think this was a very good idea to have this town hall. I don't recall it happening. I haven't been a member of Rotary that long, but I don't recall it happening last year. So I just think this was a good idea. I enjoyed listening to what's going on around the district.
Thanks, Peter. And I did not plant him. He is a member of my club. But I will put a promotional thing for Peter is going to, one of the things on the economic, community and economic part of our focus, we're going to do some networking at district conference or give the opportunity for networking. So we'll have two separate networking sessions on Saturday during lunch. One will be for attorneys and legal profession. So Peter is inviting and organizing anyone that like to trade business cards and talk about what they do at lunch in the legal profession. So if you need, Peter is out of Washington, D.C., and occasionally he might need a Waynesboro attorney, and he'll get to meet one and have a connection. And then we'll have a second one where think BNI, but really, really concise. So an opportunity for you to share your business cards, talk about what you do, and then enjoy some fellowship in the evening. And you've already met that person. So we're going to lean a little bit into the business side of things. And I appreciate Peter bringing that idea to our committee. Anybody else?
Brett, just a quick thank you to the district for everything that they have done so far in our area following September 27th. There's still a lot to be done. I see Bill Anderson on here from the Elizabethan Club. There's still a lot to go on. Every time you talk to an EMA director in this area, you get the same answer. I don't know what we need because we've never had anything like this before. We've still got bridges out. We've still got houses that are being mucked out. Quickly, you sent Paula and I a text message about, this huge number of people. I just asked everybody who is on the district, on this right now, don't believe everything that you see on, that people put out there on Facebook, social media, because Yes, we still need help, but no, the numbers are not in the thousands like some of these people, want to throw out there. So, Jamie, thanks for coming down. Glad Carolyn and I could help you guys one day. And I know how life-changing it was for some of our members in Area 13 come over and help you all, because I mean, it really made an impact. So, Brett, thank you for, just the time, and this is wonderful. So thanks.
You're welcome, Milton. That's what we're here for, is to, if we can't help our own Rotarians in our own district, what good are we? So does anybody else have any other questions, comments, challenges, duels, anything? All right. Well, I just close out then. Thank you all again for participating. We are recording this, so we will have this up on our YouTube page for those that weren't able to participate in the town hall. And if you did like it and you found it worthwhile, certainly this is something that could be done multiple times a year, or at least annually. I just want to challenge everyone here again. The magic of Rotary doesn't happen in isolation. It happens when we come together and we share ideas like we did tonight, and we act with purpose like we did in Northeast Tennessee as a result of the hurricane. So tonight, I challenge each of you to be a part of that, creating more magic in our district. So engage with your clubs, empower our next generation, share your Rotary story. And as I reflect on this year, I'm reminded of the words of our founder, Paul Harris. This is a changing world. We must be prepared to change with it. The story of Rotary will have to be written again and again, and we get to be those authors. So thank you again for everybody. Have a wonderful Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year. And I look forward to seeing you in my club visits. Please invite me in the spring. And as my schedule is available, I will be happy to come and enjoy your fine cuisine and company. Thank you.